So, Bigpod,
What?
just to let you know, last week I almost went to jail.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes, yes. Thankfully, it turns out that I'm an American citizen.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to No Tux Allowed. I'm your host Josh, and today I'm wearing a gray shirt. Yes, I did in fact have to look down just to confirm that. I've only been awake for a couple of hours now. And with me today, I brought my wonderful co-host Bigpod, who was brave enough to do a solo episode last week, and I thank him for it.
Yeah, I did one solo.
Yeah, and talking about the Artemis satellite, which I'll be honest, I haven't tracked all too closely, but I have made. I might have changed my desktop wallpaper for the first time in 8 years. Just saying. Just saying. But anyways, Big Pod,
But
I'm glad we don't use WordPress. The more and more I read
yeah,
about WordPress, the more I'm happy that I don't use WordPress. Of course, I know that if we actually used WordPress, you would not ever allow me to install a plugin.
yes,
Mostly because
exactly.
I know your opinions about plugins in general, let alone WordPress
Yeah.
plugins. But it turns out that there's a plugin called the Essential plugin. I don't really know what it does, but it was bought and sold by another company, who then put a back door into it and began distributing it. Oops. Now, this same entity also bought more WordPress plugins, adding more zero-day exploits into them and distributing them. These are official plugins that were previously approved, Bigpod.
Yeah, I know. And there is the reason I don't trust third-party code just out of the blue, and especially something that is so hard to actually uh, check as plugins, add-ons, however you wanna call them.
Yeah. Thankfully, the WordPress team that's in charge of moderating the plugin system has already removed them, but there's a list that you can go to WordPress.org and uh, look at them, but. One of them is like a Countdown Timer Ultimate, which is one that I've actually seen before. Where it's literally just a WordPress plugin with a simple countdown timer that pops up somewhere on a page. Which, yeah, I'm glad that the WordPress system has existed over the years. But if we're looking at like spinning up our own websites that are a blog, I'm glad that WordPress is no longer the only option.
Yeah. Like, even today, I know some people who still run WordPress for things that they shouldn't be running WordPress for. And
Yeah,
blog being one of them. Or news site. Like, none of that should be WordPress. Sorry. I know it makes the CMS part makes it easier, but it's a giant security hole. And honestly, this the any vulnerability I hear about, which is way too many, just kind of make me wanna make my own software and use only my own software, which I know is stupid notion because, well, I am
stack
not
site generators exist.
I'm not like the best programmer in the world, so a lot of vulnerabilities But guess what? At the same time, if I was building a new setup for podcasting, I would probably go and wait at least as much for me to create myself at least a at least a proof of concept build for a website and then deploy that, because well, PHP and all that fun jazz just makes me less like the entirety of the software ecosystem.
Yeah, well, like WordPress came out before like JavaScript was a thing, and back
Yes.
then the thing was PHP,
Yeah.
and that's why there's so much PHP code written in it. A lot of these like older projects, like WordPress, uh, they're that's the reason why they just use PHP, because JavaScript didn't exist yet, or it just doesn't run nearly as efficiency as PHP could if somebody was actually coding PHP smart, which happens less and less often. So, uh, just
Well,
mentioning.
I have to correct you there.
Oh,
JavaScript came out almost 10 years before WordPress.
oh, I'm going off
Yes.
of like my own head brain here. So, yeah, I
Remember,
guess I was wrong.
JavaScript was created by Brendan Eich in 1995.
95. Wow.
Yeah, remember, it was still the time of Netscape, specifically Netscape Mosaic and
Right. Right.
NCSA Mosaic. Not even the time of Navigator.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess I was wrong on that one. Oops. So, anyways, let's talk about like an update to a previous news article that we talked about. So previously, I think this was a few weeks ago. We mentioned that the United States Federal Department of Communications, or the FCC, uh, they came out and just banned all foreign-made routers, as what they said. These are devices intended for routing network traffic on on a on a local network, saying that none of these are made in the United States. We can't trust any of them. So they just banned them all.
Great. A
Yeah, yeah.
really good strategy.
Very good strategy. Well, they gave an exemption to two companies very recently here. One of them, Netgear. So we can still buy that cheap little $15 router from the Walmart store shelf, only to
Yeah.
have it, stop receiving security updates literally the next week. Which I guess is pretty okay because people buy Netgear routers anyway. I've never enjoyed them.
Not AI.
Yeah, but they're saying in their explanation for why they're giving Netgear an exemption, they just the FCC simply just says they do not pose a risk to U.S. national security. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in the event you're wondering for specifically what models, because it matters for the models, the Netgear Nighthawk Consumer Mesh Mobile and Standalone routers, as well as the Orbi Consumer Mesh Mobile and Standalone routers, their cable gateways, which are like their Mocha devices, and cable modems for people that still use it, even though they're reaching end of life on October 1st, 2026. Now, there's another company called Adtron that also got an exemption.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah. So Adtron's a bit of a unique special snowflake in like the networking world. They make consumer products, yes, but they only make fiber optic products,
Oh.
which are a bit of a rarity here in the United States, at least for a home network. So they're not exactly big. Now, the main running theory is that both these companies are based in the United States. They just don't make their products in the United States,
Yeah,
which
but
makes
why
sense.
why there is an exception for ubiquity then?
That's a good question. We don't know yet.
Unless, as it was talked in the episode when we first talked about this topic, maybe their routers don't actually apply to this designation because they are, after all, maybe more for small businesses targeted. They may not actually apply that, but that was our guessing.
Yeah. Now, they were now the U.S. Defense Department, uh, which is the one that's like doing like the investigative background into these companies before they give the FCC the approval to give them the okay.
Yeah,
Also, were also asked about TP-Link. Uh, they had no comment, but according to secondhand information, they're kind of TP-Link is kind of locked in a battle with U.S. officials over the fact that the company is partially owned by the Chinese government.
hmm.
Bear in mind, just a reminder, uh, one of the primary stakeholders of TP-Link did buy one of those little gold membership visas. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah. The move to get a U.S. citizenship visas, right? For money.
Yeah, the one where you walk in and spend like $20 million, now you're a U.S. citizen, basically overnight.
Interesting.
Yep. But of course, Bigpod, the dystopia is coming for you as well,
Oh, really?
as slowly and steadily, Waymo is working very actively on getting its autonomous vehicles to drive on public roads in London, which I know you're not particularly close to London, Big Pod, but it's coming your direction.
Yes, but I have to tell you a secret.
What's that?
Don't tell anybody. There is also another one. I don't remember who that got approved for, I believe, Amsterdam or some other part of the Netherlands as well.
Ah, well, you see, people the dystopia of people taking naps while their car goes down the highway at 70 plus miles per hour. It's coming for you.
Yeah,
Yep, it's coming. So Waymo has only really done like the initial testing. They haven't been allowed to have the cars like self drive. So they've actually had an employee driving the vehicles through the city of London just to map it. In the event you want to know what kind of car that they're using a fully electric Jaguar, an I-Pace that's equipped with their self-driving system.
interesting.
Yep. They said that they've pretty much got the entire city mapped at this point. And they're getting into autonomous testing phases, which means that they're going to allow the car to sort of drive itself, but they will still have a driver at the seat to override it.
Okay,
Yeah. So I think that they've got the various approvals for the go ahead, but
great.
apparently, public transportation sucks in London enough that they need autonomous vehicles. So who knows? It's still massively
Uh,
better than anything I have access to.
I don't know if it's that sucks that much, but yeah.
Yep. Okay. Uh, and then Big Pod. Just I would like to give you a reminder that this is a technology podcast.
Okay.
And because, we're a technology podcast, it's really hard to avoid an AI topic.
Oh, great.
So, we're going to talk about, continue talking about the AI dystopia. This time with a Gallup poll. So, Gallup polling is, typically seen in, like, a pretty good light. They do a pretty good job with, like, making sure that their their poll populations aren't exactly tainted or anything like that. So when they come out with a poll, you can take it with a bit of grain of salt. But they came out with a poll recently showing that there has been an uptick in alarm about technology replacing workers' jobs.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
workers have responded to this poll saying that they're just not using AI because they're afraid of that.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I'm talking about this was because I actually got an offer for the poll. It came as a letter in the mail.
Interesting.
So yes, I did respond. My response was literally AI cannot replace my job because at the end of the day, somebody needs to throw the trash away.
Yeah.
So AI probably won't be taking my job. It's more likely to be it's more likely that a robot that AI might be controlling might take my job, but
Yeah.
it's not happening nearly as fast as like the manager's job or something like that.
Well, I, on the other hand, as a both cybersecurity professional and software engineer, am quite shaky when it comes to keeping my work.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Now, some interesting takes from this poll is that workers using AI in like more management roles, they're saying that the results have actually come out somewhat positively, which makes sense because at the end of the day, the manager doesn't actually really do a whole lot of work. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Their job is to make sure that everybody else is doing the work. Obviously, it's not going to be true for most other companies, but when you're looking at like those more administrative jobs, AI is probably going to be able to. AI is probably most likely to replace all those. Obviously, when companies are making AI tools available, there's no actual guarantee that employees are actually going to adopt them. I know that, but there are some legitimate uses for AI. We've talked about this before. Like in the medical field, using AI to just scan an X-ray scan, has proven to show like potential health issues that might just be missed by like the human eye.
Yeah.
Or when you're working in engineering, just having an AI just double check all your measurements because heaven forbid, here in the United States we're making metric to imperial conversions all the time. It's
Also,
possible. Yeah.
let's be honest, doing software development and hunting for vulnerabilities, it is better at than humans. Sad to say, but yes,
Yeah.
at
And
least to some degree.
I've seen IDEs that were so automated that that the code was practically writing itself.
Yeah.
Like before this whole AI bubble came around. So these tools have existed forever, and
Yeah.
when you're just writing down, if you're just filling out it, it makes sense that have the AI write the boilerplate template that you're putting in every single file. That way you don't have to do it.
Yeah. Now it's not just boilerplate. All I have to do is enter a prompt and I will 10, 15 minutes later have code that would take me maybe days to write and research. That's the hard part. Research the endpoints I need to hit to have, I don't know, something automated, something even like, for example, uploads to YouTube for podcast.
Or just have an approach to something that you find an approach to something that you just would never have even considered.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are uses for AI in programming. That said, it's worthwhile to know the language so you can at least audit what the AI is telling you, because
Yeah,
they do hallucinate.
that's always an important thing. That's where I think humans will remain. The guys who tell AI how to do and then check over its work.
Yep. So we need to lighten up the dystopia a little bit here. We need to talk about Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh,
Yeah. So, uh, anyways, Meta has pivoted off the metaverse entirely and has
yeah.
bought into the AI hype train. Uh, you probably haven't heard too much about Meta investing into AI, other than, you know, compared to like the other companies. But they came out with, you know, an announcement saying that they're making an AI 3D animated character that is Mark Zuckerberg, which makes total sense because I couldn't think of another human. I couldn't think of another human being who has less of a personality than Mark Zuckerberg. It's true.
Yeah.
Have you? I've tried watching those interviews. So, it's possible that they could expand on this model and introduce like other characters into it. But this is basically like generated deepfakes. And if you want to see like how one of these 3D models would 3D character models would actually work out, just go to twitch.tv/askjesus and just watch that stream for a little bit. It's probably going to turn out just like that.
Interesting.
That I do occasionally log into that one just for a good chuckle. Okay, now our next topic, I have two links for you guys. I have the official announcement, which is written entirely in French. But to help you out, I also linked this TechCrunch article as well. But ultimately, France has decided they're ditching Windows. And they're going to Linux.
Cool.
Now, we don't know which distro they're choosing. We just don't.
Okay, let's see. I'm reading the French one,
Okay.
which may sound a bit weird for somebody who doesn't know French, but I know how read enough so I can actually see enough that I can now switch to the English version and actually read it.
Yeah. Well, you see, our browser-based translation tools are fantastic, especially for making that English to French transition. Because, that's something that we've had to do for over 200 years here in the U.S. We got pretty good at it.
Yeah, like the first few lines I think I could. If I was like actually asked to read, I probably could read and understand basics of even in French.
Yeah.
But
Well,
let's not
anyways,
make a fool out of myself.
yeah. Anyways, they list several steps that they're going to be going through to strengthen this ambition as they claim, but they're saying ultimately this is to reduce reliance on making use of U.S. companies for all their software.
Yeah.
So, and I think that there are actually like a couple Linux distributions that are maintained in France. I think Mandriva is one of them. Open Mandriva.
Yeah, maybe.
But of course,
Let's
France has
see.
yeah.
Huh.
Let's see. If we just Google French Linux distro. Let's see. I believe DistroWatch has a search feature where you can search by country of origin. Oh. Mageia. Open Mandriva, Lubuntu, Voyager, Manjaro, the original TrueNAS core, the one based off of FreeBSD that's no longer maintained.
Yeah.
And GNU Geeks is apparently French.
Really?
Apparently, according to DistroWatch, at least. Probably the guy that just started the project was French.
Huh. There are a couple of others apparently, like again, OpenMandriva, Magia, Primtux, Mandrake. Apparently, like this historically.
Yeah. So for the record, OpenMandriva and Mageia both stem from the Mandrake family of Linux distros.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, think of those as like modern day Mandrake. That said, I have used OpenMandriva in the past. Not my favorite distribution. If I had to pick a distribution, but it was good for what it did. I've never really used Mageia before.
Another one that is like really French is ClipOS. Apparently, it was developed by French National Cybersecurity Agency.
Oh, I think we found our distro.
Yeah, but it is probably cybersecurity distro.
I mean, they can just fork it and make it a desktop distro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just toss like either a GNOME or KDE desktop on and call it good to go.
ClipOS is open source project designed by National Cybersecurity Agency of French, ANSSI, that aims to build a hardened multi-level operating system based on Linux kernel and a lot of free and open source software. But it is archived now and no longer developed. That's an important one.
Oh. I have an important fact for you, Bigpod.
What?
ClipOS was based off of Gentoo.
Wow.
Or according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Another
one that is like people might know is Nutyx.
Ooh. Nutyx?
Yeah, Nutyx.
I think I've heard of that one before. It's based off like Debian and Sid.
No, it's based on Linux
like
from scratch, with its own package manager called Carrots.
Ah, okay. Well, it's obvious that at least somewhere in the French government, somebody knows how to make a Linux distribution because of ClipOS.
Yeah.
So, what are the chances that France actually just goes the DIY route?
I don't know, but there is also
because I know that there's towns in Germany that have tried.
Yeah, but there is also options of EUOS and of course friends across the border. Germans could create for them a version of SUSE.
I mean, SUSE does like to make new versions of itself, so
yeah,
I totally see it.
And fun fact, EUOS actually uses a what is called a license called EUPL. You probably never heard of that license.
No, I can't say I have.
European Union Public License.
Okay.
Apparently.
Oh, I found their what is EUOS thing. You want me to read this to you?
Go ahead.
EUOS is not a project of the European Union, but it should be. So far, EUOS is a proof of concept for deployment of a Fedora-based Linux operating system with the KDE Plasma desktop environment, and bootable container technology. So it's your favorite thing. It's an atomic distro.
Yes, yes.
Despite the name, it is technically not a new operating system.
So they were smart
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Fun,
Yep. Yep.
fun fact, EUPL, European Union Public License, was created on the initiative of European Commission. It is a unique legal instrument developed in 22 European languages and can be used by anyone for software distribution.
Okay. Okay.
More than 100 of other licenses exist. The purpose of EUPL is not to complete any of these licenses, to compete with any of these licenses, but to encourage a new way of public administrations to embrace free open source model to valorize their software and knowledge, starting with the European institutions themselves. That is what is written on the website of European Commission. And apparently, European Commission distributes its own software under the license. Some quite a few applications they have listed there. Like, so interesting.
Huh. Okay. Okay. So
I don't know
I
what
found
it says, but
I
apparently
found
it's
the
pretty
official
nice.
web page for EUPL, and I'm gonna have that linked in the description for anybody that wants to read it. But it does look like it would be GPL compatible for those that care about that.
Yeah, but it probably seems like it's more on the side of MIT
Probably.
in how much it gives away, and most importantly, it also has a version in Slovenian language.
Well, of course it does because apparently it matters.
Yeah.
Is that two dialects of the Slovenian language? Is that what I'm seeing?
What do you mean?
Slovencia and Slovenski jezik.
You mean Slovensky jezik, but no.
Oh,
One
oh,
of them
oh,
would be Slovenian, the other
yeah.
one would be Slovak, aka Slovenščina and Slovenčina. Don't
Okay.
don't go into it because it's a complete mess of things. One for Slovenia and one for Slovak Republic.
All right. All right. Well, I will not go down that rabbit hole with you right now.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
So, anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the show for this week. If you would like to, send us an email, you can send us an email to contact@tuxbase.com and tell us about how all your wonderful AI-generated tools can help us with our social media. That's totally necessary. If you would like to talk with each other, you can go to tuxbase.com/discord to join our official Discord community. And if Bigpod ever gets around to it, you can also go to tuxbase.com/matrix to join our matrix space too, if for some reason you want to use that. It's pretty awesome, even though the server seems to go up and down quite often still. Or that might just also be my monitoring tool.
Yeah, and it's a bit. I made a piece of software that makes sure everything works, and I know there are a few bugs there. So
Right.
it's intentionally because of my bugs pulling the software down.
Right.
So I need to figure out what the bugs are and fix them.
Right. Now,
The,
in the event that
the benefits of AI generated software.
Yeah, the benefits of AI generated software. Have it written once for you so you can troubleshoot it everywhere.
Fun fact: April is first month of Bigpod's the quarter of AI software, where I only write software via AI,
We will need to get updates on this.
and there's still 2.5 months remaining. So we may see a lot more broken software from me.
Which, hey, if you would like to help us in these adventures, because, Bigpod is totally paying for this out of his own pocket, You can go to patreon.com/notuxallowed to pay for our insanity. Because heaven forbid, we're doing all this stuff the hard way. In fact, if you listen to the audio feed, there's a very good chance that that audio feed came through a server that we pay for. We're not talking about, a podcast aggregation service. Because if you're listening to us through iTunes is pulling directly from us. We're not posting to iTunes directly. Same thing with the I guess they call it YouTube podcast now. Same with Spotify, because there's real power when it's your server. Also, just because the Matrix is down doesn't mean that the podcast is down.
Yeah. Separate servers.
That's true. That's true.
Helps.
Now, if you for some reason you need to get with us directly, we have our own YouTube channels. Bigpod, I don't know if you posted an episode lately. I know that I missed a distro hacking and it makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm also sad I missed an upload.
Rough. But, subscribe to those channels. We'll post there eventually, we swear.
Give us a major reason for us to actually upload and stream.
I mean, I have a reason. It's called people keep asking me. And of course, if you would like to talk to us over social media, we do have our own Mastodon accounts as well. So, I believe that's mastodon.tuxbase.com. You can just go there and just look at our own self-hosted Mastodon, which also does not go down nearly as much as our Matrix server.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to see ourselves out of here. Bigpod, I will talk to you next week. Preferably not through an AI-generated avatar. See ya.
Goodbye.